those words are significant because they are meant to rally the party's base, rally the supporters on the side of the candidate of the party. And as he said, the battle has been won and lost. Yes, in any contest, you will have disagreements and all that, but the good thing is, once the battle has ended, the winner has emerged, then the party must rally around the winner. No matter what you have against the winner, no matter your misgivings about the way the contest went, no one can deny that Asiwaju won this election, you know, resoundingly. He did not win by a slim margin. He won by an audacious margin. And everyone, the contest was shown live on TV. No one will be able to convince any rational human being that this election was rigged. So
Yeah.
once the process, you subscribe to the process, in the words of Tony Prince Will, Asiwaju won the election hands down.
Yeah.
Therefore, those who lost to him, who are good party men and women, should now rally around the candidate of the party. That is the only way the party can be guaranteed of success in future elections. But if people allow the acrimony that was there before the contest to go on, then it may be difficult for the party to go into
it poisons the
next,
water.
Yeah, so that's why the president is saying, look, the election is water under the bridge. It's gone. So let's focus on the future. This is the best person for the job. Let us support him. So I hope that those who contested against Asiwaju, who have not congratulated him, amongst the aspirants who are well beaten, who have not congratulated him, this is the time to say, well done. You fought a good fight and you won hands down. We congratulate you. We wish you well. That's the way it should be. Democracy is not warfare in the real sense of the word. I mean, people should see democracy, or anytime we have an election, as a carnival. You know, look at the joy on the faces of people. You can sense that they were happy to be at Eagle Square. That's the way it should be. It's not warfare. This is not Putin waging a senseless war against Ukraine. I mean, this is politics.
Okay.
You know, Mao Zedong said, politics is a war without bloodshed.
And war is politics with bloodshed.
Now, in a contest like this, it's a contest for power. Now, you would expect some internal wrangling, but as soon as the election is over, primary election is over, that is one thing that I think Wike did exceptionally well. He said, now the contest is over, I will support my party. And that is expected from every member of the party. And I think
that in this case, the APC.
Yeah, of course, the APC. And I think the party has no choice than to do that. You know, you understand the fact that if he hasn't won decisively, perhaps, you know, there can be some contestation, but he won decisively, and I think people will fall in line. It is normal. It is normal. Maybe after a while, then again, it also behoves on the candidate to reach out. He needs to reach out to people, you know, those who contested with him, you know, to other organs and, you know, units of the party, so that the party will go into the election as one.
All right. All right then. Okay. We're still talking politics. Let's go to our next issue. You know, during a political campaign, everyone is concerned with what a candidate would do on this or that issue, you know, if he is elected. But the candidate is more interested in what he would do if he's not elected. The All Progressives Congress bigwigs and chieftains are rallying support for the party's presidential flag bearer and former Lagos State Governor, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. beyond congratulatory and goodwill messages, the party's leaders say his candidacy is a breath of fresh air. So we can go back there again.
No, for me, I think if you had gotten someone from the government, I don't think that would have been the very best. Of course, the government has its own low points and questions will be asked. But for someone coming from outside the immediate government, I think it is good for the party. Somebody who will be bringing fresh ideas. And I think you can't underrate the political force of this man in question. In 2015, I remember was it 15 or 11? Even when Ribadu was on the ballot, despite the internal stuff, you know what APC polled in the Southwest? About 1.4 million votes. It's unusual, of course. Even in the South, I think they polled also some vote there. So for him, and you should notice that each election year, where the candidates come from, they always turn out a lot of votes. That is, like the last election, the Northeast and the Northwest, were leading, in terms of volume of votes. So fresh air, both in governance and both in terms of, voters turnout. I think right now you have the Northwest as the highest in terms of voters registration, about 21 million or so. Then you have the Southwest following with about 17.4 million votes. I think these will be in contest. So fresh air, one, a person with experience who is not within the government to inherit the blame and the failures of the government. And two, somebody with enough political force, political structure across the country to bring this to the table for the party. And I think the next election will be a very funny one in this country.
But not funny. Says the next election would not be funny, but I'm adding not funny.
Yes, you want to understand what it means by the election being funny. The election could spring some surprises. I want to imagine that the coming of NNPP will really muddy the waters in the Northwest, especially. Because people are angry. Some of them have decided to pitch their tents with the NNPP. So, and basically it's led by someone reputed for being a grassroots politician. So we expect, just as it happened in Bauchi and some states,
so you're looking at Kwankwasia and so on.
Kwankwasia is a force. It's a massive force in northern Nigeria. It has not been able to win an election for some time. In terms of maybe a big election like governorship election, it's been struggling, but it's been building that group for some time, and that group is formidable. So I expect that some of what happened in 2019, when we saw some candidates winning on the platform of PRP.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, we expect that in Bauchi, some states of the north, some PRP candidates emerged, even for the House of Reps, House of Assembly, they did well. So this time around, it is possible that NNPP will be able to win one or two states in the Northwest, and some House of Assembly, and even House of Reps as well.
If I drop this, the immediate past secretary of the APC in Akwa Ibom State has defected
to the same
APC to NNPP.
But the party is a lot stronger in the Northwest than your Akwa Ibom. So the way it is in Akwa Ibom and some other South states, the PDP is so strong that when you step out of the PDP to another party, you end up not winning.
All right.
But I think the local election.
Let's quickly go on the commercial break. We'll be back after the break. Please stay with us.
It was a bright sunny day in Agbala community. The community popular Jingo has just heard a rumor, and he has come to spread it to everyone.
You won't believe what I just heard,
he said.
That incident last month was not a robbery.
It was carefully planned by the neighboring community. It didn't take a lot for the people of Agbala Agbala to believe that the people of the neighboring community masterminded the attack, and off they were to war. However, only one person thought to call a friend in the community to check the information. By the time they realized the truth, nobody really remembered who brought the rumor. Fact check to be sure of the source of the information and its authenticity before spreading it or taking action. Fake news is dangerous.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
In the month of June, on the 3rd of June 2012, a Dana airline plane crashed into a building near the airport, killing 153 persons on board and 6 on the ground. 10 years after, has the pains healed? On the 4th of June, the mother of Kudirat, wife of the recognized winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, MKO Abiola, will be remembered. And the 5th will be World Environment Day. On the 7th, food security takes center stage on World Food Day. The 12th is Nigeria's Democracy Day. On the 14th, it will be World Blood Donor Day. Combating desertification and drought will be marked on the 16th. The 19th will be World Sickle Cell Day. Then the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking will be on the 26th. Stay with TVC News.
All right, welcome back. So let's go back to the story we have at hand. We understand, former Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi has congratulated Ashwaju Tinubu. Not surprising, in the spirit of sportsmanship, as we're talking.
Yes. And just as I said yesterday, Ashwaju needs people like Rotimi Amechi, who came second to him. He needs his energy, his inventiveness, and his leadership qualities. This is the sort of person that will tell you the truth anytime. If he's just doesn't care how you feel, he will tell you the truth. And his methods work for him. So he's someone that I like so much, following him for some time. I've interviewed him, and the person I was a tabloid journalist. So I think having led the president's campaign for 2 successive elections and delivered victory, to the president, to the party, I think that Ashwaju
Would need him.
will need someone like Rotimi Amechi to help him prepare for the 2023 election.
Kolawole, the phrase is all hands on deck.
Yeah. No, of course, it's important.
Because it's not yet Uhuru.
I think, he was trying to give some data that time. You need every hand on deck too. I was, of course, I imagine an election that will be close, yet the victory will also be very decisive. Now, he mentioned the Northwest, then. In the last 2 elections, Northwest has been churning about over 8 million votes. I think in 2015, it was about 8.4 million votes. So yes, I thought, 8.3 million votes. Then the last election,
the highest.
Yes, then it came to about 8.2 million votes. And Kano has played a major role in this. But there is something about Kwakwansia. In the general election, the presidential, they've not done too well. They've always done well at the local election, as in the gubernatorial and the House of,
and local government.
Yes, but of course, you've had some, big wigs now move to, the party. So I think that may change the calculation of Kano a little bit, especially if Kwakwanso build that national momentum. But I doubt if the party has a structure around the country and the fund to build it. So as long as that is not done, so you still have a Northwest, you still have a Kano that may likely be won by APC. Then you look at Katsina, you look at Kaduna, and those surrounding states, I think it will still go to APC. Now, the moment that happens, of course, you need everyone there, all the members, and Ashwaju has a lot of support from that zone for this primary. So that will work for
You
him.
are not preempting anything.
No, I'm not. It is data. We're throwing data
Okay.
around.
Okay.
Of course, the data. Of course, you know that. Okay.
No, it's all right. We are not quarreling. But let's talk about.
See, I have only going for data. Every hand on deck. I'm talking about the strength of Ashwaju in the primary. So that would also be translated to the general election.
Except that data is not a substitute for judgment. Okay.
So see, you need data for judgment.
All right. Okay. So let me throw this. Okay. Voter education, Jide, is important here because at the end of the day, the voter is the king.
Yes, voter education and mobilization.
And mobilization
helps you to win an election. In fact, in the US, the most important thing that can guarantee the victory of a candidate is what is called the get out the vote.
Get out the vote.
Yes. The candidates mobilize and engage a lot of volunteers as well as paid people who will be knocking on people's doors. Because people can register for election, and on election day, they will just be too lazy to come out and vote. So you need to get in their faces, knock on their doors, encourage them to go and line up and vote. That is the edge that parties that have structures on ground, that's the edge that they have. You can have sympathy, you can have the sympathy of the voter, but the voter still needs people to ginger him, people to come knock on his door and remind him of the need to exercise his franchise. If you don't have people to work for you on election day, not just as agents, but as a get out the vote, how do I call them? Get out the vote, someone that offers himself for something. I'm looking for a word like get out the vote operative, if I can borrow that word.
Okay.
You are going to find it difficult to win. Parties like APC in Lagos and other places, they do meetings constantly along the levels of local government, ward, and all that. So on election day, the job will have been given to different people. That okay, look, Akio, this is your place. You are the one to get people to go out and vote.
And the voter feels a sense of belonging.
Yes, because they come. Sometimes they offer you all kinds of things. They make it look like a celebration. Sometimes even drumming, just for people, and you see them dancing. They are going to vote, but they are making themselves happy. That's why I said elections should be like a carnival affair. Something that we are happy to look forward to. It should not come with violence at all. Election is the opportunity of the voter to express the power in his hands. Once they win an election, that power literally is taken away. So the people, they lie. But when they come to you, when you're approaching the election, the voter is made to feel like he's God, he's the king. You know? So
KJ, aren't you missing the National Orientation Agency now?
I think I did something on that 2020 where I went for the head of the agency and nobody condemning them, actually, stating the things that they should be doing. And you can't really take away the role of that agency, at this point. And unfortunately, it appears the non-government organizations are not focusing much on this area. Of course, it requires a lot of fund, to do voters education, and the parties themselves, would be doing a whole lot in that area, but of course, in a partisan way, and you can take it from them. They are not doing that for free. They are doing that so they could win. So NOA is missed right now, and I don't think we have a substitute for that right now. That parties themselves would have to do that. But mind you, what I was trying to do then, was to you asked about all hands being on deck. So I was going to mention what Amechi was going to bring to the table, going from zone to zone and giving the data, but you didn't allow me to do that. Grandfather, after the program to you.
Don't go to that. don't go. But when we talk about illiteracy amongst voters in this country, it makes me sick, because we are looking at hundreds of thousands of voters who on election morning are apathetic. And you're wondering where this apathy is coming from.
It's especially in some parts of our country, people don't take elections seriously. But in the North, for example, their political education is a lot better. And the medium of radio, they listen to radio a lot. There's a lot of political education that also goes on through, that people make use of through the radio. Now, if a lot of ballots get wasted in our country on election days, because people don't know that it makes no sense to fold
the ballot.
Yes, once you done the thumb printing, you don't have to fold. If you must fold, it must not
obliterate.
Yes, if you fold it, you must fold gingerly. Don't allow one part of the paper to touch the other side. Once it touches the other side, it destroys.
We
renders the voting valid.
Jide, we have an Ade waiting in London. I'm sorry we kept you waiting. Ade, thank you for joining us.
It's all right. It's all right.
Good evening to you.
To all of you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I want to congratulate Asiwaju for the victory. But I want Babajide to please advise him. 1993, there was peace in Nigeria, no Boko Haram, no killing. It's different from he should not pick a Muslim vice president. If he did that, he will win the election.
The line is getting funny here.
The candidates benefiting from advice from his party will take the best decision. And we're talking about the best decision, the decision that would help him to win the election. That decision may not always sit well with everybody. It is not even possible for a single decision by a politician who wants to win an election to sit well with everyone. But the politician, I want to believe, Asiwaju, I want to believe, is hoping to win. So he has to take the decision that will best propel him to victory. So it's not time for even that argument now. But I believe that at the end of the day, the politician in him will triumph. The desire to win will cause him to take the best decision that can enable him to win.
All right. You asked about voters' apathy. I was going to, mention something. There's something called demand erosion in policy analysis. When people, consistently ask or demand for things from the government and they do not get the good response from them, it gets to a time that they lack that zeal to demand.
The enthusiasm wanes.
Yes, wanes. So people think that their votes do not count. As soon as the people know that their vote counts, they will come out to vote. Unfortunately, the more they stay away, the more they allow those in quotes.
KJ, but there's a counter logic to that.
Oh, yeah.
Votes are very important. Otherwise, politicians would go buying them. So which behoves the voter to make it a bullet, according to the 16th American president. The ballot is bigger than the bullet.
I think it's the cycle we are. At first, remember, it was they were snatching the ballot, throwing the people away.
Yeah.
Then we moved to, vote buying. Of course, we are almost getting out of that cycle to a time where people will be alive to their, to their responsibility to vote and to stand with their vote. So that time is coming. And I think it's our job too, on this side of the media to keep educating the people on the need to come out to vote. That is very important on our side.
Whatever happens to this talk about transmitting election results electronically,
yes.
whatever. Well, I know power problems is still here.
Yeah, but it's still something that we have to do. The law says where it is feasible. That's the
proviso.
Yes, it doesn't say that in all cases you must do that. It's not like a card reader, for example. Even the card reader gets bypassed. So where the infrastructure supports that, they will go ahead and do electronic transmission of results where they have electricity, But in some very rural communities, I know that they will not be able to do this. Some very rural communities.
Yeah, Kola, quickly, let's rub this in. Ade just called us from the UK, and we're looking at diaspora voting. Appears to be something too far away from home.
We are not there yet. Even the voting in, if it's manipulated, so we are not there yet. So let's not.
Even if it is electronically
mail-in ballots like the US.
Trump, despite the sophistication of the US, system, Trump contested that. Now you want to bring that to Nigeria? I bet even the Supreme Court will not be able to declare the president.
Come on. But again, this is not to say our country is not sophisticated enough politically. No, close to 62 years after independence.
I think with improved technology. With improved technology, we can get there.
We take a caller from Niger State. Etsu is reaching us from Niger State. Good evening, Etsu. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How is Niger?
Thank you. We want to appreciate. We want to appreciate your program. This is one of the best programs in Nigeria. We always watch it. Even if there's no light, we have to watch the program. So we really appreciate your program. And we want to say congratulations to Tinubu. And they have to do their calculations very well, Babajide, because if they didn't do the calculation, the Atiku is coming. This issue of Muslim ticket or Muslim Christian ticket, they have to sit down and do the calculations very well. If not, they will miss it. What they should be now is how to win the general election.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think Tinubu is a very nice person. And I think we want to appreciate this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's quickly go there. One of our major fault lines is making our politics have a peculiar character. It must be Muslim, Christian, Muslim, and on all that, North, South, and so on. I think we should age. We should be out of that groove, if you see.
I hope that one day we'll be propelled by competence more than anything else. I long to see that happen in our country. But we've had Muslim, Christian leadership in our country in the past. Remember Gawan? Gawan's number 2 was a Christian.
Okay.
He was a Christian.
It didn't matter,
The heavens didn't collapse on our heads.
In Lagos State, Jafojo and
Dakonde in Lagos, and you can't tell me that the population of Christian is not big enough to have a Christian deputy. We had Dafojo and Dakonde, and nobody complained because Dakonde was the best governor of his era. Then even now in the House of Reps, the number 1 and the number 2, they are both Muslims. Wase and Bajabi, they are both Muslims. No one complains about it.
Do I even remember that?
That is the thing. People are more concerned about the fact that they are doing a good job. By just providing leadership, is well complemented by Wase, and everyone is happy. So I know that we'll get to that point one day when we have a succession of good leaders, people won't think about where they come from anymore.
Kola, remember the brouhaha about the 1993 Abiola and Kingibe thing, you know, but it didn't matter. And we're talking about a mere 29 years ago.
I think, see, the issue is not now. It started from 1914, and successively also we have not really helped, help the issue as we should. By the time you look at the homogeneity nature of the country, of course, you must take into consideration every interest. However, I think it is also good for us to sit down and ask ourselves, is there a separate market for a Muslim? Is there a separate road for a Christian? As long as you have leaders who can deliver, I think people are just in. Are you going to protect my
separate pilots?
There is none.
You get into an aircraft, you don't care about the religion of the pilots.
This or that. I think the fear is this: is that people are scared. If you are, if you belong to so religion, are you going to protect me that belong to? As long as they are sure that these guys are liberal and and they don't have such history, I think it won't be a problem.
I remember what the late American president, the oldest, what's his name? The old cowboy, Reagan. When he was shot, Ronald Reagan. When he was shot, the doctor attending to, I hope he's Republican, and people laughed. So, but that's the nature of politics, no permanent friendship, as I said earlier on, and no permanent enmity and all.
No permanent pilots.
See, I think
you get into an aircraft, you don't know where the pilot is, but you give your whole life to him.
To him.
You believe that he will take you there. When an aircraft is flying at more than 30,000 feet, if anything happens, you don't stand a chance of surviving. Even when it's not that high, if anything happens, you don't stand a chance. The plane, when we had this crash in 2006, the plane had not even finished climbing. It came down near the airport. People died, But when we get into an aircraft, we don't care about the religion of the pilot. It's taking us to a destination. We believe that it will take us there. I believe that we must get to that point when we can trust our leaders to be fair to everyone. Our leaders to ensure that they work for, that we can be sure that they will work for us. That we have voted for people who truly work for us and give their best at all times.
Leaders who, okay, Uche is reaching us from Newe. Newe is in Anambra State. Uche, good evening to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening,
Citizen Jones.
Professor,
I know be prof. Go on.
Good evening, Chief Babajide.
No.
And there's Johnson here. There's Johnson.
No,
you are distributing appellations. You are distributing appellations today.
Congratulations to the Kappa himself. But I think he's what I call them kitchen cabinet, or his people, his followers should advise him the way he should talk from now.
Yes.
The way he should talk. He should not
you are right.
Too much.
You are right.
Because if he talks too much, they will count it. He can count.
They'll misinterpret it. Yes.
Can be used against him. Yeah.
You remember people fought with what I call it fight with Buhari, and he saw the marching even as the sitting president. So if he mistake, Atiku will take the day. Forget about the people saying that they are waiting for the Southeast. The Southeast, they don't have any option than to vote for PDP.
Uche, we thank you very kindly. Thank you very, very much for
that point that you made. I think it's important that we stress that point.
You know, I was going to talk about handlers.
Yes. How do you handle the big man?
Yeah.
To ensure that at this time, if I were one of the handlers of Asiwaju, for example, I would set out no-go areas. Don't make comments on this kind of things at this time. There are certain things that you cannot say as a presidential candidate from southern Nigeria. Even if you say it with genuineness of intention, if you say with the genuineness of intention, it can still be misinterpreted to mean that, oh, if this person gets there, he's going to move against us. There are some emotive issues, issues like restructuring, you know, those
state policing and all that.
See, if we begin to talk about those things, people, they will then begin to think, oh, this is the plan. He's going to move against us. So those of them who didn't want him in the first place would then say, did we not tell you? So Asiwaju has to be well managed at this time.
Kola,
so the caller was right.
Handlers. No doubt, he needs a very strategic manager and one that will not be scared of him, one that will have an unfiltered access that will see him at all time, not one that, you can't manage a person from
Kola, and the big man must listen to his handlers.
No, see, when you're good with your job, when the big man, when you manage people and they falter the first time, if you tell a man that if you do this, this is the result, but you do this, here's the result. If he feels the first time and he sees what you tell him, I can tell you that the next time, won't do it again.
I think we must tell every big man in this country, when it comes to image making, you are the first image maker. You're the big man. All right, our job is done. Just when you think you are enjoying the show, the time comes. Jide, we must leave.
Yeah, we have to leave.
Yeah.
We have to leave.
Kola, I thank you very kindly for your...
Thank you. Grandpa, good to see you again.
Yeah, great. Don't forget that fight when we finish.
Oh, of course, we'll do
All right. Okay, that will just about do it on the show today. If you missed it, join us at 11 for our late edition. And of course, don't forget it's Sunday where we will give you a 2-hour expanded program. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. And on behalf of the Backroom Boys, I'm Citizen Jones saying thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
We all know the benefits that come from eating a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes that's not always easy until now. ShopX TV is proud to introduce NutriBullet, the must-have kitchen item of the year. With NutriBullet, you can now easily get your daily recommended fruits and vegetables in a fast, simple, and convenient way. Not by eating them, but by drinking them, giving you the strength and energy you need for a full, active lifestyle. And it takes just seconds to use and seconds to clean. Here's how it works. First, add spinach for fiber, berries for antioxidants, and some banana for potassium. Add water and watch how the NutriBullet completely breaks everything down. Even almond nuts, cashew nuts, and tiger nuts have been completely broken down, extracting all their essential nutrients, creating a smooth, delicious, nutrient-packed smoothie that can literally transform your life. The NutriBullet is not a blender, it's not a juicer, it's an extractor, a crusher. It's a grinder with a 600-watt motor combined with bullet cyclonic action that forces everything into its extractor blades, breaking down pulverized